Most people think major health problems come with obvious symptoms: intense pain, a sudden collapse, or a trip to the emergency room. But the truth is, many life-threatening conditions don't arrive with a bang. They sneak in quietly, masked as everyday annoyances or slow changes you've convinced yourself are just getting older. And that's exactly what makes them so dangerous. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 warning signs. Your body may already be giving you signs that are easy to ignore, but that wise older adults never overlook. These aren't dramatic emergencies, but they are quiet, red flags that doctors say you should never brush off. If you've felt off lately, if something just doesn't feel right in your body, this could be the wake-up call that changes everything. You don't have to wait for a crisis to take control of your health. Sometimes knowing what not to ignore can save years of your life. Now let's get started. Sign 1, unexplained weight loss. Losing a few pounds without trying might sound like a blessing, but past 60, it could be your body trying to raise an alarm. When your weight drops for no reason, no changes in diet, no increase in exercise, it may be more than a fluke. It's often a sign your body is under stress, using up energy reserves to fight something you may not even feel yet. Doctors warn that unintended weight loss in older adults is frequently linked to underlying conditions like thyroid dysfunction, digestive disorders, or even early-stage cancer. One of the reasons this symptom gets ignored is because it doesn't feel bad. You might feel lighter, your clothes fit better, friends might even compliment you, but that's the trap. While you're smiling at the scale, your body could be burning through muscle, compromising your immune function, or reacting to a metabolic imbalance. Let's take David, a 74-year-old retired postman. He dropped 10 pounds over 3 months. No diet, no new workout routine. At first, he welcomed it. But then came the fatigue. Then came the coughing. By the time he went in, his doctor diagnosed him with a treatable form of lung cancer, but only because he finally acted on what his body had been trying to say. Psychologically, this is where denial becomes dangerous. We often associate weight loss with success or health, but past a certain age, losing weight without a cause isn't a reward. It's a reason to ask questions. Don't assume it's harmless. Unexplained weight loss, especially if it's more than 5% of your body weight, over 6 to 12 months, deserves a closer look. Your body doesn't waste energy for no reason. Sign 2, persistent fatigue. We all get tired. That's just part of life. But there's a kind of tired that goes deeper than needing a nap, and it's often your body's quiet cry for help. Fatigue that lingers no matter how much you rest is one of the most overlooked medical red flags in seniors. And it's not always about being out of shape or not sleeping well. This type of fatigue is the kind that makes small tasks like brushing your hair or cooking breakfast feel like lifting bricks. It can be a sign of anemia, heart disease, diabetes, depression, or even chronic infection. Here's the tricky part. Many older adults chalk it up to aging. But growing older doesn't mean you should feel worn out all the time. There's a difference between natural tiredness and something that makes your limbs feel heavy, your brain foggy, or your mood dulled. When fatigue interferes with daily life, it's a symptom, not a personality trait. Let's talk about Judy, age 68. She loved tending her garden and walking her dog. Then one spring, she began skipping walks, ignoring the weeds and blaming it all on just getting old. Months later, after collapsing in her kitchen, she was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. The fatigue had been her only real warning, but it had been loud in its quiet way. Fatigue also takes a toll emotionally. It makes you withdraw. You stop socializing. You turn down invitations. And that isolation only deepens the danger. Your spirit and body are connected. When one fades, the other tends to follow. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 3, sudden weight loss without trying. There's a kind of weight loss that feels good, like when you've been eating better, walking more, and you notice your pants are looser. But then there's the kind that sneaks up on you. The kind you didn't plan, didn't want, and didn't notice until someone else pointed it out. For older adults, unintentional weight loss is a big red flag. If you've lost more than 5% of your body weight in a few months, without dieting or increasing activity, it's time to pay attention. Your body doesn't just shed pounds for no reason. It's responding to something, maybe a hidden infection, thyroid issues, diabetes, or even early cancer. It's also a sign your body may not be absorbing nutrients the way it should. Malabsorption disorders are more common with age, and they often fly under the radar. You may feel fine, just a little less hungry, a little more tired, but your body could be starving for the building blocks it needs to stay strong. Let me tell you about Harold. He was 74, still sharp and active, but his belt kept needing new holes. He thought it was just getting older. But after a routine checkup, doctors discovered a gastrointestinal tumor that had been quietly interfering with nutrient absorption for over a year. His body had been wasting away while he was still going about his days. Psychologically, this kind of weight loss also carries risk. It often leads to muscle loss, weakness, and frailty. And that spiral increases the likelihood of falls, hospitalizations, and overall decline. But it's preventable if caught early. So if you're noticing that your clothes fit differently, your appetite's shrinking, or friends are saying you look thinner, don't brush it off. Your body is waving a red flag, and it's hoping you'll stop and listen. Sign 4, chest discomfort that comes and goes. Now, I know chest pain sounds like an obvious warning, but what's dangerous isn't always the sharp, dramatic kind we see in the movies. Sometimes it's a faint pressure that comes and goes, a tightness when you're walking to the mailbox, a weird burning sensation you write off as indigestion, or even a little ache in your jaw or shoulder that just feels odd. Here's what many don't realize: heart-related symptoms in older adults often show up in disguised ways. Especially in women over 65, a heart issue might present as fatigue, nausea, or shortness of breath rather than full-blown pain. That's why so many heart attacks in seniors go unnoticed or get discovered only after it's too late. Let me tell you about Margaret. She was 68 and pretty active, did yoga every week, loved gardening. She started noticing a tightness in her chest when pulling weeds, but thought it was just muscle strain. It wasn't until her daughter insisted she go for a checkup that they found out she had significant blockage in her coronary arteries. Her body had been whispering for months, but she hadn't known how to hear it. Psychologically, we often avoid acknowledging symptoms like these because they feel scary. Denial can be a coping mechanism. It's probably nothing becomes a comfortable story, but every time we ignore the body's signals, we widen the gap between a preventable event and a medical emergency. So here's the takeaway: don't just look for pain, look for patterns. Discomfort during mild activity, recurring pressure, unexplained fatigue, or strange sensations in your upper body. Those are your cues. Your heart might be speaking softly. Make sure you're listening. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now let's move forward. Sign 5, slow healing wounds or bruises that appear out of nowhere. Sometimes your body speaks quietly, not with pain or dizziness, but with something you see in the mirror. A bruise you don't remember getting. A small cut that just doesn't seem to close. A scab that reopens weeks later. These are more than just annoyances, they can be red flags. When wounds heal slowly, it may be a sign your circulation is compromised, especially in your legs, feet, or hands. Your blood might not be delivering nutrients efficiently, or your immune system might be lagging behind. In some cases, it points to undiagnosed diabetes. In others, it hints at vascular disease or declining organ function. Either way, it means your body is struggling to do something it used to handle with ease. Let me share about a man named Donald. He was 73 and noticed small scrapes on his arms from working in the yard, which just lingered. His skin would bleed easily, and the spots stayed purple for weeks. It wasn't until a neighbor mentioned something similar that he went in and got tested. Turned out his kidneys were weakening, affecting how his blood was clotting and filtering toxins. The bruises weren't random, they were signals. For many older adults, we dismiss these as part of getting older. But wise people know to ask why. Why is this taking so long to heal? Why does my skin mark up so easily? Why am I seeing spots where I don't recall bumping into anything? Your skin is your largest organ, and it often gives early signs of trouble happening inside. If your outer layer is slow to recover, chances are your inner systems are too. That's the moment to speak with your doctor, not after months of watching and wondering. Every time your body changes, don't ignore it. Notice it, because noticing may be what saves you. Final thoughts. Sometimes it's not a sharp pain or an obvious injury that signals something's wrong. It's the quiet things: fatigue that lingers, numbness that creeps in, changes in your skin, appetite or weight that seems small at first but add up over time. These signs aren't just quirks of aging, they're whispers from your body asking you to listen. The most important takeaway from this video isn't fear, it's awareness. Wise older adults don't panic at every change, but they also don't dismiss them. They pause, they reflect, and they act when something feels off. Your body has been with you for decades. It knows how to alert you when it needs help. And when you catch these signs early, you give yourself a chance to stay stronger, longer. So don't wait for the alarm bells to ring loud. Notice the small things. Trust your intuition and speak up even if it feels minor. Because sometimes one conversation with a doctor can change everything. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned today and how you plan to use it in your life. Your thoughts are important to us, so don't hesitate to share them. Reading your comments gives us great motivation and encouragement. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.